Being able to breathe in and out without making an effort is something that we always take for granted. Oxygen, a life-sustaining element, plays a crucial role in maintaining the physiological processes of the human body. It is transported through the bloodstream to act as a fuel for the cells, tissues, and organs of the body. As people age, a drop in blood oxygen levels provides room for life-challenging respiratory complications ranging from increased emotional stress and reduced energy levels to a compromised immune system and severe respiratory failure. Adequate blood oxygen saturation is therefore of utmost importance for your health and well-being as a whole. But what if your day-long tiredness and exhaustion make your life tough enough that you get short of breath frequently? Besides having expensive medical equipment to level up your oxygen saturation, did you know that you can boost blood oxygen saturation naturally as well? Yes, it's true. And that's why in this video we have listed some natural routes and routine habits that you can follow to boost blood oxygen. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for all our updates. Let's first throw some light on the facts about blood oxygen saturation. What is oxygen saturation? Oxygen saturation is the amount of oxygen present in your blood that is required by the cells to carry out normal physiological activities. For adults, these oxygenation levels in the blood vary from 95 to 99%, below which the likelihood of respiratory complications increases and oxygen supplementation is required. Maintaining adequate oxygen saturation in the blood is therefore essential for maintaining good health. Unlike blood sugar levels or regular blood pressure measurements, only a few people get their blood oxygen saturation levels checked so often. But what if because of some airway entrapment, you or someone close to you have to experience shortness of breath? Do you know how to measure your oxygenation? This is why before getting into the ways of learning how to increase blood oxygen, let's first help you learn how you can measure oxygen saturation in your blood if symptoms of breathlessness begin to emerge. How to measure blood oxygen levels. Non-invasive pulse oximetry, a small device clipped to your finger, is used to detect how efficiently your heart pumps oxygen throughout your body parts. Pulse oximetry measures oxygen saturation within a matter of seconds, giving you the correct information about how much oxygen your blood cells are carrying. With a sensor implanted into the device, this pulse oximetry is clipped to your thumb and fingertip to calculate the flow of blood to the extremities as well as the other organs of your body. For people who are suffering from pneumonia or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, blood oxygen level falls in them, and it is therefore important to use pulse oximetry to constantly monitor their oxygen saturation. Well, could you even imagine what might happen to your body if blood oxygen levels drop below optimal levels? What happens when blood oxygen saturation is lower than the optimal levels? 20% of the oxygen you breathe in crosses the blood-brain barrier to make its way into the brain cells. One of the top-notch reasons why a continuous pool of oxygen is required by the human body is that if the brain cells don't get enough oxygen, they begin to die off. This eventually results in brain death. Also, when you're not able to take an adequate amount of oxygen from the air into your lungs because of any obstruction in your airway or because of some underlying infectious disease, your heart, in turn, will not be able to pump enough oxygen that's required by the organs and extremities to perform well. There are a lot of reasons that blood oxygen saturation levels can drop, ranging from chronic respiratory diseases to environmental changes. Here's a brief list of some possible reasons for decreased blood oxygen levels in your body. Reasons for decreased blood oxygen saturation. The drop in blood oxygen level, also called hypoxia, may be because of certain medical conditions such as anemia, respiratory infections, asthma, pneumonia, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, chronic inflammatory diseases, poor blood circulation, compromised immune system, or congenital heart diseases as well. Living in high-altitude environments also results in reduced blood oxygen saturation. Lastly, some sort of postural sways may also contribute to the decreased amount of oxygen in your blood. So, to cope with all of the possible reasons for decreased blood oxygen saturation, let us list some of the natural ways that you can boost oxygen saturation in your body. Number 5, add iron-rich foods to your diet. To prevent hypoxia and resultant tissue damage, it is essential to maintain oxygen saturation of 95% or higher in the blood. After entering the bloodstream, oxygen molecules bind with the hemoglobin in red blood cells and are then transferred to different body parts. For the transportation of oxygen molecules, iron intake is crucial. That's because a sufficient amount of iron boosts hemoglobin count in red blood cells. The more hemoglobin molecules are present in the red blood cells, the more oxygen will be transported throughout the body parts. For people who live in high altitudes, hypoxemia or hypoxia is usually prevalent among them. Therefore, they need iron-rich foods to be added to their diets to increase their hemoglobin count. So, a sufficient amount of oxygen will be transferred to their blood cells as a result. Also, people with iron deficiency anemia, for instance, women of reproductive age, athletes, and older adults, need their dietary iron intake to be monitored regularly. Great sources of iron include iron-fortified cereals, beans, meat, eggs, milk, and nuts. You can therefore add any of these to your regular meal bowls. Number 4, reach out to your antioxidants. When free radicals start accumulating in your body, they result in increased oxidative stress, and the amount of antioxidants in your body decreases. This will, in turn, increase the amount of oxygen-reactive species because of increased metabolic needs and environmental pollutants. The increased amounts of these free radicals react with DNA and proteins and induce cell damage. This eventually results in cell death. The increased oxidative stress is therefore known to aggravate many pathological conditions, including the damage of membranes covering your lungs. Antioxidants play an important role in improving the blood flow to different organs. Improved circulation removes toxins from the blood and therefore reduces oxidative stress in the body. Vitamin C and E are powerful antioxidants that detoxify your blood from free radicals and ease oxidative stress. This will improve blood circulation, which in turn will provide room for as many oxygen molecules as possible to be transported throughout the different body parts. Antioxidant-dense foods such as carrots, vegetable oil, garlic, bananas, dates, and grapes are must-have foods if you're Googling some natural ways to boost oxygen. Number 3, take part in deep breathing exercises. People who suffer from hypoxia or certain lung diseases lose the elastic tissues in their lungs. The more rigid the lung tissues are, the more they don't allow the primary muscle of respiration, the diaphragm, to work to its fullest. Accessory muscles of respiration, such as muscles of the neck, back, and even shoulders, then take part in respiration, making less room for oxygen to enter the airway. To relieve the rigidity of the lungs and maintain their elasticity, deep breathing exercises are believed to play a crucial role. The American Lung Association has also suggested that deep breathing exercises with a proper approach can improve the lungs' efficiency in breathing air in and out of the lungs more effectively. Deep breathing exercises, or abdominal breathing, is something that can do wonders for improving your lungs' ability to breathe as much oxygen as possible. Here's how you can perform. Before performing the exercise, make sure to relax the muscles in your neck, back, and shoulders. Place one hand on your abdomen and the second one on your chest. Take a breath in through your nose until air fills up in your belly and you can see your belly going up, while ensuring that the hand on your chest stays still. After this, breathe out with your mouth open, and for a quick recovery, repeat daily for up to 10 minutes. Number 2, beetroot juice. Beetroot juice, being a powerhouse of nitrate, plays a part in boosting oxygen naturally. These synthetic nitrates present in beetroot, after entering the human body, are converted into nitric oxide. Nitric oxides are always known for their advantages in repairing blood vessels and lowering blood pressure. Dilated blood vessels result in an improved blood flow, which in turn delivers increased oxygen molecules to the tissues and organs of the body. Nitric oxide is also shown to improve the resting heart rate of an individual, which in turn ensures the efficient delivery of oxygen to the rest of the body. To produce energy for day-long, exhausting activities, cells need a continuous supply of oxygen and nutrients. Foods enriched with nitric oxides are a natural energy booster. For anyone who's addicted to a hot mug of coffee in order to stay tuned for a day-long training session, beetroot juice is a better alternative. So, all thanks to the abundance of nitrates present in beetroot, it's guaranteed for efficient delivery of oxygen molecules to all parts of the human body. And number 1, standing up straight. Whether you're sitting or standing, you've probably been advised to keep your back straight since your childhood. Now, have you ever wondered why it is that way? Is maintaining an upright posture worthwhile? Big answer is yes, and here's how. While sitting or standing, whenever you hunch your back, it's putting extra pressure on your lungs, making it more difficult for them to take a breath, hindering the maximum flow of oxygen through the airways. Maintaining an upright posture while relaxing the muscles in your back and neck helps your lungs breathe better. This is much better than the half-lying position, which again increases pressure on your lung tissue. So, whether you're sitting or standing, make sure to maintain an erect posture to help your lungs breathe in and out effectively so that maximum oxygen will be delivered to the brain cells, along with the other parts of your body. To boost oxygen naturally, make sure that you get your hands on these natural foods and drinks. Taking part in regular physical activity also improves your lung capacity. Cut short on excess salt intake, and please quit smoking in your journey to increase oxygen in your body through natural ways. That's all for today. Before you leave, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and stay tuned for the next health-promoting videos.